The sky above the colony was calm, painted with soft shades of blue and gold. Children played near the fields, their laughter mixing with the hum of machines harvesting crops. Life on the colony planet of New Terra was simple and peaceful. People worked hard during the day and rested under the stars at night. It had been many years since humans first left Earth to build new homes among the stars. New Terra was one of the farthest colonies, surrounded by vast forests and endless mountains. The settlers believed they were safe here, far from danger. But that belief would not last. Late in the afternoon, as the sun began to set, a strange shadow appeared in the sky. At first, people thought it was a storm cloud drifting in from the horizon. Farmers wiped sweat from their brows and stared upward, confused. The shadow grew larger, darker, until it blocked out the sun completely. Then someone shouted, voice shaking, That's no storm." Heads turned, eyes widened. The shadow was not a cloud, but a ship, a massive alien craft unlike anything the colonists had ever seen. It was silent, its black surface smooth like glass. Strange symbols glowed faintly along its hull, pulsing with an eerie blue light. The colony went still. Children stopped playing. Machines stopped humming. Even the birds in the forest grew silent, as if the entire world was holding its breath. The alien ship hovered above the colony, casting a dark, cold shadow over the town square. It did not speak. It did not fire weapons. It simply watched. Colonists gathered, whispering in fear. Some clutched their children. Others pointed at the ship, arguing about what to do. "Maybe they come in peace," one man said, his voice trembling. "No," another woman replied sharply. "No ship that big comes without reason." Hours passed, but the alien craft remained still. The colony's leader, Governor Hale, ordered a message to be sent to Earth. "This is New Terra. We have a situation." The message read, "Unknown ship detected. Request immediate assistance." The message went out, but there was no reply. Communication was slow across such great distances, and the colonists knew help would not arrive soon. Night fell. The alien ship stayed, silent and unmoving, like a predator waiting for the right moment to strike. The colonists were terrified. No one slept. Parents kept their children close, hiding them inside homes while patrols moved nervously through the streets. Then, just before dawn, something strange happened. Without warning, the alien ship began to rise higher into the sky. Its blue lights flickered and pulsed rapidly, almost like a heartbeat. Then, as silently as it had arrived, it was gone. No explosion, no attack, no message. It simply vanished into the stars, leaving the colony in stunned silence. For a moment, there was relief. People hugged each other, some even crying, thinking the danger had passed. Maybe they just came to look, someone suggested hopefully, but others were not convinced. Governor Hale frowned, his voice low. "No, ships don't travel across the galaxy just to look. They were testing us, watching us." While the adults debated, a young boy named Eli wandered to the edge of the colony. He had seen something strange near the forest earlier, and his curiosity pulled him closer. There, on a large flat rock, was a glowing symbol. It looked like the markings on the alien ship, sharp, curved lines that seemed to move like liquid. The symbol pulsed faintly, as if alive. Eli reached out, trembling, and touched it with one finger. The symbol flared bright blue, then vanished into the stone. Eli stumbled backward, heart pounding. What was that?" he whispered. When he turned around, he saw nothing but empty forest. But he felt something, like unseen eyes watching him from the darkness. He ran back to the colony, breathless, shouting for his parents. By the time others arrived, the glowing mark was gone. The rock was plain and cold, as if nothing had been there at all. The adults searched, but found no trace of the symbol. Some dismissed Eli's story, saying he was frightened and imagining things. But others looked uneasy. That night, as the colonists gathered inside the town hall, Governor Hale made a decision. "We will remain alert," he said firmly. "We don't know what they want or why they came, but we cannot assume this is over. Prepare defenses. Watch the skies." Outside, The stars glittered peacefully, hiding the silent threat lurking beyond. And far above, in the cold, dark of space, something watched them back. The final image was a single, glowing alien eye on a distant monitor, observing the colony. A deep, distorted voice echoed in an alien tongue, translated roughly into human words. The test is complete. The humans are weaker than expected. But as the voice faded, another alien responded, a hint of doubt in its tone. Are they truly weak, or simply hiding their strength? For several weeks, the colony of New Terra lived in a state of fear. After the alien ship vanished, life tried to return to normal. Farmers went back to their fields. Children returned to their lessons. But the calm was fragile. Everyone kept watching the sky, waiting for the shadow to return. Governor Hale ordered patrols day and night. Messages were sent to Earth every morning, begging for guidance. But the distance between worlds was great, and no response had come. The colony was alone. Some people began to believe the aliens would never return. Maybe it was just a mistake. A woman said one evening at the town hall. Maybe they were passing through. Others shook their heads. They left a mark on that rock. A man reminded her, glancing at young Eli, who sat quietly at the back. That wasn't an accident. Eli hadn't spoken much since the night he touched the strange symbol. But sometimes, late at night, he whispered to his parents that he could feel something watching. They told him it was just fear playing tricks on his mind. Then, one morning, as the colony was just waking, the sky went dark again. The same deep shadow stretched across the horizon, but this time there were many ships, not just one. The colony alarm sounded. People ran for cover, grabbing their children and rushing to the underground shelters. Governor Hale stood in the command center, staring at the monitors in shock. "How many ships are there?" he demanded. A young technician's voice shook as he counted. "At least 30, sir. Maybe more. They're surrounding us." The alien ships moved with terrifying precision, forming a ring above the colony. Then, for the first time, a signal came through. Static filled the speakers, followed by a cold, metallic voice. "Humans of New Terra," the voice said slowly. "You are a primitive species. You will surrender. You will serve us. Resist, and you will be erased." The room went silent. Even the machines seemed to hold their breath. Governor Hale tried to keep his voice steady. "This is Governor Hale of New Terra. We are peaceful settlers. We mean no harm. Please let us talk." The alien voice cut him off with a sound like laughter, sharp and cruel. "Talk? There is nothing to discuss. Your bodies are fragile. Your weapons are toys. Your time is over." On the screens, one of the alien ships moved closer to the colony's main defense station. A brilliant blue beam shot out from its hull, striking the human base. There was a blinding flash, then silence. When the smoke cleared, the entire station was gone, turned to dust in an instant. Panic swept through the colony. People screamed and cried, clinging to one another. Governor Hale slammed his fist against the console. "No," he shouted. "We have to fight back." But deep down, he knew their weapons were useless. The aliens were too advanced. The alien voice returned, colder than before. "Your first defense has fallen. The next strike will be your homes. Kneel now or perish." The aliens sent down strange floating machines to capture colonists. They moved through the streets like silent hunters, stunning anyone who resisted. Humans were dragged away and locked inside cages aboard the massive alien mothership. Among those captured was Sergeant Mara, a soldier who had once served on Earth before being stationed on New Terra. As the doors of her cage closed, she glared at the alien guards, her jaw set with defiance. Beside her, a frightened colonist whispered, "We're finished. They'll kill us all." Mara shook her head. "No," she said firmly. "They think we're weak, but they have no idea what we're capable of." High above, in the command center of the alien fleet, the alien leader watched the captured humans with disdain. His tall, thin frame glimmered under the blue lights of the ship. "Pathetic creatures," he hissed in his native tongue. "They will serve well as specimens for our research." Another alien officer bowed. "Shall we destroy the rest of their colony, Commander?" The leader considered for a moment. Not yet. Let them live a little longer. Fear will break them more completely than force. Back in the colony, the remaining humans huddled together in the underground shelters. Governor Hale tried to keep hope alive, but he could see despair in every face. "Help will come from Earth," he said, though his voice lacked confidence. "We just have to survive until then." But deep inside, he feared the truth. By the time Earth received their message, it might already be too late. That night, as the stars glimmered beyond the thick clouds of alien ships, Sergeant Mara whispered to the other prisoners in their cage. "Listen to me," she said in a low, urgent voice. "These aliens don't understand humans. They see our bodies, not our minds. We'll find a way out. We'll fight from the inside." One of the captives shook his head. "Hopeless. But how? They have all the power. We have nothing." Mara leaned closer, her eyes fierce. "We have the one thing they'll never understand, our will to survive." As she spoke, a small, hidden device in her pocket blinked faintly. It was a signal beacon set to transmit a single message when activated. "We are not defeated." High above, the alien leader sat on his throne, unaware of the spark he had just lit among his captives. For now, he believed the humans were broken, but soon he would learn the truth. The screen faded to black with a single line of narration. They thought humans were fragile. They mistook patience for weakness. But they were wrong. The alien mothership was a dark, cold maze of metal corridors and strange glowing symbols. The captured humans were locked inside a large cage at the center of the ship. Blue lights flickered overhead, casting long, eerie shadows on their tired faces. For 2 days, the aliens gave the prisoners only enough food and water to keep them alive. They were studying them, poking and scanning, treating them like lab animals. The aliens never spoke directly to humans, only to each other in their sharp, clicking language. But Sergeant Mara watched everything. She studied the guards, their routines, their technology. She noticed how they walked, how they opened doors, even how they reacted to certain noises. While the others sat quietly, lost in fear, Mara's mind was working like a machine. "These creatures are arrogant," she whispered to a small group of prisoners huddled close to her. "They think we're nothing. That's their weakness." The colonist before, a thin man named Caleb, frowned. "Even if they underestimate us," he said softly, "what can we do? They have weapons we can't even understand." Mara's eyes glinted in the dim light. "We don't have to match their strength," she said. "We just have to outsmart them." That night, Mara tested a theory. She had noticed that the aliens didn't seem to understand old Earth military hand signals. When 2 guards passed by, she silently gestured to prisoners using those signals. They followed her instructions without making a sound. The aliens didn't notice a thing. "Good," Mara whispered once the guards left. "That means we can communicate without them knowing. This is how we'll plan our escape." Caleb looked doubtful. "An escape? From this place?" Mara nodded. "They believe we're broken. We'll use that. The more harmless we look, the less they'll watch us. When the time comes, we strike." Meanwhile, back on New Terra, Governor Hale was doing his best to keep the colony alive. Alien patrols hovered above the settlement, monitoring every move. Humans were forced to work under alien supervision, gathering resources and food for their captors. The colonists pretended to obey, hiding their anger and fear behind blank faces. In secret, however, Hale and a few trusted men built hidden shelters and stored supplies underground. If Earth ever sent help, they needed to be ready to rise up and fight. "We just need time," Hale said quietly one night. "If we can survive long enough, Earth will answer our call." But deep down, even Hale wasn't sure if that hope was real. Back aboard the alien mothership, Mara's plan began to take shape. She carefully observed the alien consoles whenever the guards passed by. At first, the glowing symbols made no sense. But over time, she began to notice patterns. Some symbols repeated often, always near the doors or control panels. "This one must mean open," she explained to Caleb, tracing the glowing mark in the air. "And this one might mean power. If we can figure out enough of their language, we can take control of the ship." Caleb shook his head in disbelief. You really think you can hack an alien ship with just observation? Mara gave him a thin smile. Humans adapt. That's what we do best. On the third night, Mara made her first move. 2 guards entered the holding area to remove a prisoner for more testing. As they opened the cage, Mara pretended to stumble and fall, clutching her side in pain. The aliens clicked to each other, distracted. In that moment, Caleb silently passed a small metal shard to Mara, something he had hidden in his boot. As the guards dragged her away, Mara slipped the shard into the control panel near the door. It wasn't much, but it caused a brief power surge, just enough to make the lights flicker and the door glitch open for a second. The prisoners gasped quietly. Mara grinned. See that? Next time we make it stay open. Far away on Earth, the emergency signal from New Terra finally reached the Human Defense Council. Generals and scientists gathered in a war room, their faces grim as they listened to Governor Hale's recorded message. This is New Terra. Hale's voice crackled through the speakers. We are under attack. Unknown alien force. Their technology is beyond anything we've seen. Please send help before it's too late. General Reeves slammed his hand on the table. If those colonies fall, Earth could be next, he said. Prepare a counterattack. We won't let them take our people without a fight. Back on the mothership, Mara whispered to the others as they huddled in the dark. Earth will come, she said firmly. But we can't just sit here and wait. We have to be ready to fight from the inside. Caleb swallowed hard. And if we fail? Mara's expression hardened. Then we make sure the aliens never forget what humans can do. As she spoke, a faint blue light flickered outside the cage. The same symbol Eli had seen on the rockback on New Terra. Mara stared at it, her voice dropping to a whisper. Whatever they're planning, we'll be ready. The scene closed with a chilling image. The alien leader watching a hologram of the humans, convinced of their weakness. Pathetic, he sneered. They will never rise against us. But just below, hidden from his sight, a small group of humans were already preparing to prove him wrong. The alien mothership floated high above New Terra like a giant predator, silent and powerful. Inside, the humans waited in their cage, pretending to be broken and afraid. The alien guards barely watched them now. To the aliens, humans were weak, harmless creatures that posed no threat. That was exactly what Sergeant Mara wanted them to believe. For days, Mara and the others had studied their captors. They learned the aliens' patterns, their shift changes, and even how their technology worked. Piece by piece, the humans built a plan, a dangerous gamble that would either save them or get them all killed. That night, as the aliens prepared for another round of experiments, Mara gave a silent hand signal. Caleb nodded back. The time had come. 2 guards entered the cage area, clicking to each other in their sharp alien tongue. They moved confidently, unaware of the trap waiting for them. Mara dropped to her knees, pretending to be weak. Help! Water, please, she whispered, her voice low and broken. The guard stepped closer. In that instant, Caleb lunged forward, slamming the door shut behind them. The prisoners attacked with sudden, explosive force. One guard went down instantly as Mara grabbed his weapon and struck him across the head. The second tried to raise his blaster, but 3 humans tackled him, dragging him to the ground. The fight was quick and brutal. For the first time, the humans had alien weapons in their hands. Mara didn't waste a second. She sprinted to the glowing control panel, her fingers tracing the symbols she had memorized. This one opens doors, she muttered. Come on, work. The panel beeped, and the heavy cage door slid open with a hiss. The humans were free. The group moved quickly, sticking to the shadows of the ship's hallways. Mara led the way, with Caleb and 2 others carrying stolen blasters. Remember, Mara whispered, we can't fight them head-on. We use their own tech against them. As they passed a glowing console, Caleb paused. Mara, what about this one? She glanced at the screen. Life support controls, she said. A slow smile spread across her face. Perfect. Set it to their atmosphere only. When they start choking, we'll be fine with our suits. Caleb nodded and began typing quickly, copying the symbols Mara had taught him. Meanwhile, On the planet below, Governor Hale and the colonists were ready. For weeks, they had been pretending to obey the aliens, gathering supplies and building structures. But secretly, they had created hidden bunkers filled with weapons and food. When a young scout ran in breathless, shouting that the alien patrols were distracted, Hale knew it was time. "This is our chance," he said. "The fleet from Earth should be close. We fight now." The colonists armed themselves with homemade explosives, rifles, and anything sharp they could find. They were outnumbered and outgunned, but they had one thing the aliens didn't expect: the will to resist. Above the planet, the alien leader sat at his throne room, unaware of the danger growing around him. "The humans have been contained," reported one of his officers. "They will be ready for transport soon." The leader's cold eyes glowed faintly. "Good. Begin moving them to the central hive. Once their will is completely broken, the others will follow." But as he spoke, the lights flickered. A low alarm sounded throughout the ship. "What is this?" the leader hissed. An officer tapped at a console, confused. "Life support systems, they're failing, my lord." The leader's sharp gaze narrowed. "Impossible. Find the cause." Before the officer could answer, gunfire echoed through the corridors. Blue alien blood splattered across the walls. The humans had begun their uprising. Mara and her group moved like shadows, striking quickly and disappearing before the aliens could react. They sabotaged control rooms, disabled weapons, and hacked into communication systems. Every time the aliens tried to regroup, Mara hit them from another direction. "Stay quiet, stay smart," Mara whispered to her team. "They can't fight what they can't predict." The aliens were confused and panicked. They had never faced an enemy like this before, an enemy that turned their own strength against them. Down on New Terra, the battle erupted at the same moment. The colonists attacked the alien patrols with ambush tactics, hiding in forests and caves before striking hard and fast. Governor Hale fired the first shot himself, shouting, "For New Terra! For Earth!" The aliens were caught off guard. They had expected obedience, not rebellion. In their arrogance, they had never prepared for a coordinated attack. Just then, a bright flash lit up the sky. Human ships emerged from hyperspace, sleek and fast. The long-awaited Earth Defense Fleet had arrived. From the command ship, General Reeves sent a message to the colony and the prisoners aboard the mothership. "People of New Terra," he said, "this is the Human Defense Fleet. Hold the line. Help has arrived." The colonists cheered, their spirits renewed. But Mara didn't cheer. She knew the fight wasn't over. Through a cracked window, she saw the alien leader's throne room glowing ominously at the center of the ship. "This isn't done," she told Caleb, gripping her stolen blaster. "Cut off the head and the body dies. We take him down, or this war never ends." The alien leader watched the chaos unfold on his screens, fury burning in his cold eyes. "So," he hissed, "the humans think themselves strong. Let them come. They will die screaming." As alarms blared and explosions rocked the mothership, Mara gathered her team for one final push. "We don't fight because we're the strongest," she said, her voice steady and fierce. "We fight because we refuse to be slaves." The camera zoomed in on her determined face as she led the charge toward the throne room. The scene ended with a deep voiceover. The aliens believed they were masters of the galaxy, but they had never met humans like these. The alien mothership shook as explosions tore through its corridors. Alarms screamed, and blue warning lights flashed in every direction. The once silent, perfect ship was now a battlefield. Sergeant Mara led her team through the smoke-filled halls, their stolen blasters gripped tightly. Behind them, freed prisoners followed, ready to fight. They moved quickly, knowing every second mattered. "Stay low, stay fast," Mara ordered. "We end this now." At the heart of the ship, the alien leader waited in his throne room. Tall and thin, his body shimmered under the eerie blue lights. Around him, his elite guard stood ready, their weapons humming with energy. He stared at a massive holographic map of the battlefield. Human ships had arrived in orbit and were now attacking the alien fleet. To his disbelief, the aliens were losing. "How can this be?" he hissed. These humans were supposed to be fragile, pathetic creatures. One of his officers fell to his knees. "My lord, they fight without fear. They adapt faster than we can predict." The leader's cold eyes narrowed to thin slits. "Then we crush their spirit once and for all. Prepare the doomsday cannon." Outside, the space battle raged. Human and alien ships clashed in a storm of fire and debris. The Earth defense fleet was badly outnumbered, but their tactics were unpredictable, their maneuvers wild and daring. General Reeves, aboard the human flagship, barked orders to his crew. "Keep hitting their weak points. The moment Mara disables the mothership's shields, we strike hard." "Yes, General," the crew shouted. Below the fleet, on the planet's surface, Governor Hale and the colonists continued their rebellion. Hidden bunkers erupted with gunfire as humans ambushed alien patrols, cutting off their communications and supplies. For the first time, the aliens were afraid. Inside the mothership, Mara and her team reached the massive doors of the throne room. Caleb's hands trembled as he worked on the alien control panel. "Can you open it?" Mara asked. "Almost got it," Caleb muttered. With a final press, the door slid open with a loud hiss. The room beyond was enormous, filled with glowing alien symbols and strange machinery. At the far end sat the alien leader, tall and motionless, his cold gaze fixed on humans. "So," he said in perfect, translated English, his voice smooth and cruel, "the little creatures come to challenge their master." Mara stepped forward, her blaster aimed at him. "We don't have masters," she said, "only enemies." The alien leader laughed, the sound chilling and echoing through the chamber. "You think you are strong because you have hope. Hope is a lie. I will erase your kind from this galaxy." "Not today," Mara growled. The alien guards charged. Blaster fire filled the room. Humans and aliens clashed in a desperate, chaotic battle. Mara moved like lightning, taking cover behind alien pillars, returning fire with perfect precision. Caleb and two others provided cover, shouting warnings as they advanced. One by one, the alien guards fell until only the leader remained. He rose from his throne, towering over Mara. His body shimmered with energy as a massive blade unfolded from his arm. "You are nothing," he hissed, striking with terrifying speed. Mara barely dodged the first blow. The impact shattered the floor where she had been standing. She rolled, fired her blaster, but the leader's armor deflected the shot. "Caleb," she shouted. "The cannon! Shut it down!" Caleb sprinted toward a glowing console at the edge of the room, frantically pressing symbols. "I'm trying," he yelled. "Keep him busy." The leader attacked again, forcing Mara back step by step. Her blaster overheated and died with a sharp hiss. She dropped it and grabbed the fallen alien spear instead. "You fight well," the leader said mockingly. "For a weak creature." Mara glared at him, breathing hard. "We're not weak. We're human." With a roar, she lunged forward. The leader swung his blade, but Mara twisted under it, jamming the spear deep into a crack in his armor. Blue energy sparked and hissed as the alien screamed in rage. At the same moment, Caleb shouted, "I got it!" The lights in the throne room flickered, then turned red. On the ship's exterior, the massive doomsday cannon powered down. Its targeting systems went offline. General Reeves saw the signal on his screen. "The shields are down," he shouted. "All ships, fire at will." The human fleet unleashed a full barrage on the alien forces. Enemy ships exploded one after another, scattering debris across the stars. Back inside, the alien leader fell to one knee, his strength failing. How did you win?" he gasped, his voice full of disbelief. "Your kind should have fallen. You are weak, so weak." Mara stood over him, battered but unbroken. "You only saw our bodies," she said coldly. "You never saw our will." With a final thrust, she ended him. The leader collapsed, his body dissolving into blue mist. All across the ship, alien systems shut down. The remaining alien soldiers froze, their command structure gone. The humans had won. On the planet's surface, alien patrols fell silent. Governor Hale and the colonists emerged from their bunkers, looking up at the sky in awe as the alien fleet began to retreat. Cheers erupted across New Terra. For the first time in weeks, There was hope. Later, aboard the human flagship, Mara stood with General Reeves and Governor Hale, watching the surviving colonists reunite with their families. We came close to losing everything, Hale said quietly. Reeves nodded. They thought humans were fragile. They mistook patience for weakness. Mara gazed out the window at the stars, her voice steady. They were wrong. Our strength was never in our weapons or our numbers. It was always here. She placed a hand over her heart. In our will to fight. The final scene showed a dark corner space. A faint blue signal pulsed among the stars, like a heartbeat. A distorted alien voice whispered, "The humans are dangerous. Prepare for war." The screen faded to black with a final line of narration. They thought humans were weak until we showed them our true nature.